All right, I know I said I was going to leave my hair long, but I caved and we went with something shorter. So I can't help it. I like my friend Jen who cuts my hair. She's awesome. All right, hopefully, a little preamble there. You got a chance to tell me if you heard that or you didn't hear it. And if you didn't, I got this. What is that? Oh, it's a leaf. It's a mesquite leaf. No, I don't think you can see it. It's a little mesquite leaf. So, thank you. Thank you very much, Ruth. Yeah, awesome. So the beard is game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs was last night. I'm rooting for Carolina. Sorry to everybody in Montreal and Upper Canada that was very, very saddened by the Montreal Canadiens not making it. So we were camping once, and there was a Canadian speed skater who was no longer competing for Canada, but he was riding his bike from Mexico back to Canada, and he was in Tucson. And it was during the hockey playoffs, and he came over to ask us about if there was a team from Canada still in the hockey playoffs. And the hockey playoffs are Stanley Cup Finals. I should call them by their proper name. Lord Stanley would be very happy. But yeah, they were the better team, Paul. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't. I don't know. I don't know which is the better team, to be really honest. But they seemed like it. So. But yeah, 2,000 day of daily practice. That is kudos to you, Ruth. That's amazing. Welcome, Ronnie. I don't know that I said hi to everybody. Hello to Fred and Bob and Cheryl and Paul and Mike G. Hey, and Marjorie. Let's see, and Moira. Hello. Let's see if I can catch most. Did I catch most names? I think so. I said hi to Marjorie. Oh, how is there not a Bill B or a Bill J? Or a Brian Sweeney? But yes, so Bon, hello. Yeah, today was like 90, I think like 97 around the time that I was out and wandering around. So, and I have another 8,000 steps I have to get in today. So, oh, hello to Sheila as well. I missed saying hello. All right. Yeah, 97. I can't think of what 97 is. Is that like 30? Is that like 37? What is 97 Fahrenheit? I was on it's 36. I was really close. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was on the Mind Shift Recovery podcast. I don't know when it's going to come out. But I did a Celsius translation when they were asking me how the weather was. And they were impressed that I would think about Celsius. So, all right, I didn't tell you who I am. My name is Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach. Most people will know me as the most times moderator and sometimes co-host of the Do Nothing Project when it was hosted right here on this fabulous platform of YouTube. And on Wednesdays, we do a 25-minute sit. It's often a unified mindfulness technique paired with doing nothing, which is also a unified mindfulness technique, by the way. And then, yeah, I usually sometimes randomly chat about something that's going on or whatever, or I try to call out some practice thing. And we have a fantastic community, and all those folks that are here in chat are part of that fantastic community. And you watching through space-time, thanks to the recording, are also part of that community. So thank you so much for everybody that takes time out of their Wednesday. I have a fancy bell, and I have a striker that is on a piston that my brother made into an ashtray when I was a kid, and I ended up with it. And so now I do something positive with it, and I use it for the striker because don't smoke, kids. So let's see. I do too, Ruth, and I like delight in seeing it all the time. Where I'm like, thank God I thought of using that for that. It's like one of my little favorite little items. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do 25-minute sit. Let's see. I got off track with talking about hockey, but the reason I have a beard right now is because I grew a yeah, it is cigar sized. Very good point, Paul. So we got 25 minutes on the clock. I grew a beard to appease the hockey gods in general. I didn't. Sometimes what I would do is when my favorite team was in the playoffs, I would grow a hockey beard, and then when they lost, I would shave my beard, and that was that. But this year, I decided I would just grow a beard to see if it would appease and please the hockey gods as a whole. Yeah, and some folks may not know that is a playoff tradition where players will stop shaving and grow beards before the playoffs, and then that tradition was so appreciated by LeBron James. He started doing that for the basketball playoffs. I don't know if there's other players that join in on that one, but yes, and Ruth has stopped shaving her legs too. I believe we had that conversation when I mentioned I was growing a hockey beard. And now the gal who cuts my hair is trying to convince me to not shave it after the Stanley Cup is lifted. So I don't know. So I am outsourcing opinions to y'all. All right. So today, what we're gonna do. So I did I did a day of practice with my home sangha, the Upaya Sangha of Tucson, which is an affiliate of the mothership in Santa Fe, the Upaya Zen Center, and that was amazing. Even though it was like a half day, not a full Zazen Kai. So Zazen means sitting meditation, and then the Kai I think is practice. KAI I think means practice or devotion maybe or dedication. I don't know. One of those. So together it means seated meditation practice or seated meditation dedication. And so what I was thinking was we normally do 25 minutes total, and then at the last 5 minutes we do nothing. So today I'm gonna extend it so that the last 10 minutes are nothing, and then we're just gonna work with sounds. I have the swamp cooler running so that while it still works, Saban mentioned that we are in pre-monsoon times. When the monsoon starts, the humidity goes up to the point where the swamp cooler won't work. So that's a stellar idea, Paul. So the swamp cooler's running. So what we'll do is I'm gonna play around with just here for the first 10 minutes. 10 minutes ish, then 5 minutes of feel out, and then we'll do nothing. So a little bit of cross training. And then there's something else I wanted to mention, but I'm sure if it was important, it'll come. I will think about it in time to mention at the end. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for the fact that we've got such a dedicated group here on Wednesdays. I really appreciate it. So, request in the chat that I'm going to grow it long enough to braid. Not happening. Appreciate it, though. Scalane! Just in time. So, Yeah, the braided beard, not a good look on the Zamboni. I did get my first phone interview, which I'll mention at the end. So, all right, got a bell, and then if you're just joining, or you happen to jump to this point in the recording, we're doing just here. So that means mental talk and sounds for 10 minutes, and then we'll do feel out, and then we're going to do 10 minutes of do nothing. That's the plan. So, all right, here we go. I knew we'd get some. I knew we'd get some opinions. All right. So really, and in the vein of those comments, seeing if you can bring a lightness to your sit. Sometimes I feel like I'm, I don't know, is the right word, dour. I'm like way too serious with my sit. So seeing if we can start before we even get our posture in accordance with what we'd want. Let's just see if we can bring a little bit of lightness, smile perhaps. And then as we establish our posture, upright without being uptight, allowing the natural curvature of the spine, shoulder over the hips, feet flat on the ground, or arranged in a way that will help you to fidget less. You can always fidget. We don't have to be statues. And a reminder that you could be meditating standing, lying down, or walking. So I will trust if you are doing any of those three postures when meditating that you can adjust. I'll focus on the seated posture, either in a chair, on a cushion, or a bench. Just taking a sample of what's the inner weather like. So I invited the possibility of some softness and delight. Maybe that softness and delight was not received well. We have room for that too. So if there's a corresponding grumpy or negative reaction, just acknowledging that, not forcing it away. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow that breath down, sinking low into the belly, and as it turns around and becomes an exhale, seeing if we can extend it. So as we begin, we're doing a noting practice. What does that mean? It means that we have a focus range, which is going to be here, or just here. So that's here in, or mental talk, and here out, or sounds. So that's our focus range. And then our instruction set is that we're going to apply concentration to that focus range. Notice where our attention is in that focus range. Soak our noticing into that. And then optionally labeling here. And I often will say here, H-E-A-R, but I think we can live in the realm where either is okay. So if you want to think of being right here in the moment, listening to that sound or noticing that sound, that's fine too. But generally when I say here and labeling, it's H-E-A-R. So I'll let you explore just here. And if you notice, or if you become aware that you are not in your focus range, you can, with care, bring your concentration back to the focus range. And really, that's an opportunity to be gentle with ourselves. if you have gotten into a good rhythm with just here, I'll just pre-apologize because I'm inviting you now to shift to the physical body. So again, we're only changing our focus. Our focus range is now the physical body. And then again, we are allowing our concentration to rove within the physical body. Where it lands, we note, soak our attention in, and label feel. So please explore, feel out. All right, so here is your opportunity. This is a choice point. You could continue with feel out, you could go back to just here, or you can do nothing. And in do nothing, it's sort of a visual I like is that you've been pedaling along on your bike, and this is your opportunity to just coast to the end. So, the traditional unified mindfulness framing is to let go of any intention to control our attention. And if we notice that that has come up, to let it go. And if it pops up, this desire to shape or control our attention, we kind of just let it be. And then I'm quite fond of the notion of sitting and knowing that you're sitting. Knowing is very natural. So your chance to coast and do nothing. I'll invite the bell to signal the end of our sit. I really hope you could hear that. It was a very delightful bell. Thank you for your practice. Humanities bow here. Thank you for your practice. A quick dedication to the merit. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. And may I remember that I am part of all beings. Thank you for being here. As I said, thanks for the likes. I do. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Scalane. Yeah, I met someone recently, and they'd said something about, like, what are you doing for the weekend? Your beard tells me you're probably going to go camping. Are you headed to the mountains? So I'm not headed to the mountains. So I got my first phone interview for a Zamboni driving job. I've not heard back, so I probably shouldn't be putting this out into the world because I may be jinxing myself. But yeah, so since you all got to see the Zamboni videos and things like that, the only downside is it would be in Phoenix area, in the Phoenix area. So I'd have to basically commute and crash in my friend's guest room or his craft room or whatever. So before you send positive vibes, there's another opportunity in my life that might actually be more in the line of being a bodhisattva and less making clear, crisp ice surfaces. So we'll see. But so Tucson to Phoenix is about 111 miles, and with the price of gas right now, it's like maybe not the most amazing idea. But I also am very keen on the idea of trying to get to be a Zamboni driver somewhere. So Jeff wants me to guide a meditation while driving a Zamboni. So he thinks that whatever hockey rink hires me should mic me up, and then I should guide a meditation while I am resurfacing the ice. And I told him that that's a grand idea, but I will have to be more peaceful while driving than necessary, or to be necessary to guide from my experience. Otherwise, it would be a very anxious, very anxious thing. So yeah. So I just wanted to share that. We'll see. Yes, clear mind like ice. Perfect, Paul. So that's one thing that's out in the world. It sounds like there's a possibility of me guiding on a Sunday night, coming to a Substack near you. Not sure about that exactly yet. And then my annual trip to Minnesota is coming up, and so I'm trying to figure out if that's gonna put me out of pocket for the 17th. So if that's the case, then I'm going to try to figure that out, and then I'll reach out and see if maybe Ralph or Brooke would be available. But yeah, so that's coming up. I'm super excited because I'll get to go to the car show, and then after the car show, I'm going to try to go to a few Twins games, and I've just like the Buddhists teach you that the glass is already broken. That's how you can think about things. I think of those games that I'm going to attend for the Twins as already lost. And then if something good happens, then I'll just be pleasantly surprised. So, which is kind of the way to approach being a Minnesota sports fan, to be really honest. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I have not forgotten about the zines, and I'm still dragging my feet about trying to create the little Discord community thing. So that's not too far in the back of my head. I'm imagining, as my life kind of settles out here a little bit, that I'm going to try to be writing a little bit. keep saying that, and then I never do. Eventually, one of these times, I'm going to make good on that threat. But yeah, and August, if things go well, maybe August, I'll have some practice check-ins on like a Saturday morning, or maybe sooner. But I will keep you. Up to date on that. And the way to keep the up to date, yeah, there's a teaching on impermanence. I think it's more of a Thai Theravada teaching, where it's the view that when I look at the glass, I see it as already broken, which to a North American mind sounds really negative. But it's a teaching that people love, and it ends up in all sorts of different places. So, a zine workshop. That's not a bad idea, Paul. That would be one way for me to reliably get. One of the things that holds me up with the zine, with doing a practice zine, is trying to create the PDF so that you can print it and then it'll fold correctly, which is big. I don't know. These are the things I worry about. If you get a chance and you aren't getting the reminder emails, I was delayed. I was delayed today, but I will normally send one out on Tuesday, and then I send out one 2 hours before. Before this time, you can send an email to the email address that I just put into chat. My brain just produced a thought, and now I have already forgotten it. If you like Austin Kleon, he put out a new book that came out yesterday called Don't Call It Art. And it's all about making stuff and as art. And it really is this really awesome profile of his two kids. But that book made me think a lot about how does me calling my meditation practice meditation set it up for more than it needs to be. So yeah. So anyway, one of these, I'm just gonna say it. At some point, I know I'm gonna meet Austin Kleon, and it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, Marjorie. Yeah, he's if you haven't heard of him before, fall down a rabbit hole. And check out Austin Kleon. He's got before yesterday's book. He's got 3 great books on making and art. It's fantastic. All right, that's my mini unprompted, unscripted update on things. So, and then if I hear anything, maybe I'll just send out an unprompted email. So, but yeah, zine workshop is a super amazing idea, Paul, because I like that idea. So, okay. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Happy Thursday for folks tuning in across the date line. Yes, Steal Like an Artist. Thank you, Marjorie. I didn't say the book because my brain could not produce. I was like, oh my God, what is the title? And one of them is an amazing one to keep going. So somewhere outside of camera shot, I have the books. So, all right. Thank you. We'll see ya.